Live here. We are going live everywhere. Okay. Everything should be good. Our switches are on. I think we're actually live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Traffic Services. It's the Ask a Traffic Hawk stream on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and everywhere. That's right. We are everywhere, like City TV used to be, and they probably still are. But we are simulcasting on like every platform we have access to. It's really amazing. So welcome and good morning and all that jazz. We are uploading. I'm 87% through on our morning video, a little behind the schedule. We had a friend visit us from the employment unit. They're on TikTok or getting on TikTok, getting more involved. So it's really exciting that they're joining us because the water is magical. So we're looking forward to being able to do more stuff with the recruiting unit, the talent acquisition unit for Toronto Police, because they're coming to play. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service, and I go live on TikTok a lot. And we do that to be able to answer your questions and your police traffic questions in particular. So if you're watching us on TikTok, welcome to the party. If you are on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, what else? We're on Twitch. We're everywhere. You should know that our chat is live. If you ask us questions, you will be able to get an answer live. And if you are watching on TikTok, our primary camera, you can also ask us questions. Now, I don't monitor the chat. That's done by our magical band of moderators who help keep it classy and make sure that people aren't being mean or spamming. Stuff like that. They also have a tremendous amount of knowledge because they've been doing this a lot and hear me answering all these questions. So very often they have the answer, even though they're not police officers. They know what's going on. Now, they're doing that. I'm answering questions in the Q&A. And that's what I'm doing. Just responding to Q for a second. And Angela Topping and Sean Chen saying hello in the YouTube feed. So that's awesome. It's Angela. TikTok can't see it, but I'm hitting buttons that show their comments on screen there. And good morning, Will. Good morning to you. I got Rolling Trays asking, thoughts on Wasaga this weekend? I don't know. Is there a thing that I should know about? I'm not aware of anything happening in Wasaga. I am in Toronto. And won't be going to Wasaga, but is there something happening? Let me know. Good blessed Friday morning, everyone. That's from Neon. He's one of our moderators. Here's a question from Toke. I'm not going to try and pronounce the rest of your username because I'm going to mess it up. Is a G2 driver allowed to drive on the highway? Yes, you can. A G2 driver can drive on any highway in Ontario. In fact, you can go outside of Ontario. You're a probationary driver. You can drive with basically all of the privileges, save and except for the fact that you can't. What's going on here? Happening on TikTok. I'm getting reports of static. I wonder why. Hang on a sec. Let me rearrange some stuff. I think I'm having a cable issue.
Is something loose?
It could be. It's possible. Things have happened. Is it gone or is it still static? Let's see.
It's still kind of there.
I'm going to try and pull a cable and switch it. Hang on. Okay. Let me know if it's any better. And hello to the 181 people on TikTok that are watching live right now. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service, and I go live here on TikTok a lot. I've changed the cable around. It may or may not have solved that problem. Let me know, Q, if it got any better or worse. We'll have to revisit and see why. We haven't had static problems in forever, and suddenly
It's
static
still there.
problems? Really? Is it heavy duty serious?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second, folks. We're going to try and resolve an audio issue. We're going to see what we can do here. Oh, yeah, I hear that. I don't know why.
Okay.
Why
Sounds better.
Why has it been going so good and not good now? If I hold this wire, if I hold the wire, it gets better. Better, worse? Better.
Better.
Okay. How about this? Come on. Q, what do you think? Are we, actually, I can't hear you, Q, because I'm not. I still hear it.
What's going on?
How about now? I think we're gone. I think we're good. I think we're good. Are we better? Are we better? Hopefully we're better. That was horrible. My apologies to the sound gods. That sounded terrible. Good morning, Jeff. We just saw Big Jeff Fresh jump in. Okay, I think the adapter that I use into the iPhone has seen its last day. My mic, how's my mic? Let's see here. Q, I can hear you, but it's still residually there. Okay. Folks, if you're in there and it's really bad, let me know. I'll try and fix it again. If it's okay for everybody, I'll keep going because I don't want to spend the hour trying to fix my mic to any better. I haven't changed anything, so I don't know what's going on. Let me do one more last check.
Sorry, guys. Streamer problems.
I hear it faintly. I don't know why it's there. And it might be having to buy a new cable. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to keep going. Yeah, streamer life, apparently. So, let's keep on going with another question. Brian says, how's your day going? Love the channel, by the way. Thanks very much, Brian. Glad that you're enjoying the content. We are trying. We're glad that you're here, though. Okay. Can I teach my son to drive if he don't have a license? On private property, we wouldn't issue a ticket because we don't have authority under private property for that charge. However, he wouldn't be licensed. If he did something on private property, smacked up the car, you'd be paying for that out of pocket. It wouldn't be covered. Can I park in front of my own driveway? Depends on the municipality if that's permitted or not, if there's parking permitted on the street. I've heard situations where because they don't know it's your driveway, they might ticket you. So I'd probably not do that. Ashton Stein says it's fixed, but Q, who has eagle ears, or do they have ears? Really sensitive. She's really good with sound, and noticed that, and I can hear it too. There's this faint little thing. So, yeah, Q says it's still there. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna try and fix this another time. It's not perfect, and we like perfect. For the 100th time, have you ever ticketed a cop? No, but I've never pulled over a cop, so why would I ticket them if I've never pulled them over? Okay, what's the worst thing you can, what is this? What's the worst thing if you can't, what is the worst thing if you can't find your insurance card? Well, in Ontario, you can provide an electronic copy, but that's not just a picture of your insurance card. It's either through app or from an electronic version that they provide you. It's not just a photo, so it has to be something that they provide. Do semi trucks need emissions every year? I don't know. That's not my area of expertise. I don't know, but you need to get your that yellow sticker. That's your certification or your. It's called a device, and if that's not in, it may be required as part of that. I'm not sure. I don't check for emissions. I check to see if that sticker is there invalid. Boop his nose. Neon wants you to double tap and show that you like the stream, and that helps keep everything frosty. It tells everybody on TikTok that this channel is doing something good and helps bring more people in. Okay, what if I do a red light camera wrong? What do I do if a red light camera wrongly off? So you're saying it went off, it captured you, but you shouldn't have been captured. Sounds like you need to go to court and explain yourself, because I'm not sure how you'll justify it. They have photo evidence suggesting that you did something wrong, potentially. Now, if it just flashed, doesn't mean you're getting a ticket. It may have just flashed and taken a photo, and it's going to be reviewed by a human. And, yeah. Oh, you can moderate the Q&A now? Cool. I didn't know you could do that.
I'm sending you a screenshot now.
Cool. That's very cool. Apparently new features are coming in to allow Q to do more stuff and help out, or moderators in general, I guess.
I kept my mouth shut.
Ooh, more work. No. Okay. What is the funniest excuse you've heard for speeding? I've heard lots of jokes that are pretty funny, but in terms of what's the funniest, that's a good question. I have to give some thought of that to truly rank it. One of my favorites that stands out is someone who said they had to go potty badly. So I took his driver's license and I followed him to the potty and waited for him to come back to his car, and I gave him his ticket there. Because there's no excuse for speeding, even if you have to go potty. Moderators equal producers. Yes, they do. And they are, in fact, a tremendous assistance. I couldn't do what I do without the help of Q and the merry band of moderators. She's currently not impressed. She's a big help. They're a big help. You guys are awesome. Do answering these questions ever get old? There's some that are like specifically tint and underglow that are the bane of my existence, but we answer them because people need to know the answer. And as Q is Q, you're live. She's making faces live on the internet. Yeah, it's Friday. She can do it on Fridays. Some of them get old, but you know what? If you need to know the answer to a question, we're here to answer it. So it doesn't matter how many times we hear it. We're good to answer it. It's all good. It's all good. Now, the questions that we've never heard, those are the ones that get exciting because we get to look up stuff or speak about things we rarely speak about. It gets to challenge our knowledge, and it's different. So different is good too. We'll take it all. Let's see here. You're missing it. You missed a show if you were not watching on YouTube or any of the other platforms. Just saying. Let's see here. What is the penalty for stunt driving? I'm going to take a sip of coffee because I need to hydrate and caffeinate, and then I will give you the answer to that question. Oh, that was good. In the event that you would like to stay in touch with us, you should hit that follow button so that you stay up to date when we go live and drop new content. It's a thing. And on to the penalty for stunt driving. Stunt driving, which could be triggered by many different driving activities, comes with a 14-day impound of your vehicle, that's instant, as well as a 30-day roadside suspension. Now, in terms of what are the penalties when you go to court, that's an entirely different situation. I talk about the policing side of it rather than the court side of it. But you know what? Since you asked, I will look because I cannot remember. I think it's $1,000 to $5,000, but I want to confirm. Let's see here. Stunt. Drive stunt. It is, no less than $2,000, no more than $10,000, and a possible jail term for no more than 6 months or both. So it's a good thing to remind me to look things up and remember. Remembering is good. Can I drive with a photocopy of my license? Absolutely not. You can. It's just not good for anything. It doesn't actually meet the requirements under the Highway Traffic Act for surrendering your driver's license to a police officer. And just a reminder to please only ask questions once. Just because if you are spamming by asking many times, then we'll probably mute you. So,
Can an officer search your person or vehicle without consent?
yeah, if incident to arrest, or depending on the reason, if you're being arrested, if you're being detained, and you're being searched for purposes of weapons or in relation to an investigation for generally for weapons, but you don't have to consent for those searches. It's not one of the things that's going to happen. Okay, let's see here. Sending love, support, and positive vibes. Okay. Now, I should add on to the search. It's not that you're going to be strip searched; you're going to be patted down for weapons and safety. Let's see here. Okay, Ashton and Neon both want to know about underglow and tint. They're dying to know because they've never heard the answers.
Have them answer it then.
This is true. You can answer it, but they want to. They want to poke. They want to poke. Okay. What are the fines for speeding cameras? I don't know. In fact, we're trying to get a hold of Trevor from the city of Toronto is going to come onto our show, our 10:15 show, in sometime over the next couple of weeks and talk about those things. But I don't have the specific breakdown. You can go on to the Toronto Police, or the City of Toronto, I should say, website, toronto.ca, and get all sorts of information about the speed camera fines and systems. Let's see here. Constable Carey 909 says, no, you can only copy both sides of ownership. So if I didn't see the question, but the answer is correct. If you want to carry a photocopy or a original, you have to carry either a photocopy or an original of your motor vehicle permit, and it has to be a true copy, which means it has to be both sides of the document, and the document has to be valid, either validated by a sticker or valid with a current expiry date on the face. Either way, if it's a photocopy of an expired document, it's useless. Let's see here. If you have an emergency, as a follow-up, how do you tell other drivers you have an emergency? What kind of emergency are you trying to communicate? Like if you're having an emergency because you're having a medical episode, pull over, turn your hazards on, call police. That would be the way to go. Call 911. Telling other drivers you have an emergency, there's no, for a civilian vehicle, there's no way to say, get out of my way, I have an emergency, because there is no such thing as an emergency that would allow you to break rules. A question from the chat is, can I refuse to show you identification? And if you're operating a motor vehicle, no, you cannot, because it's an arrestable offense to not identify yourself. So that would, if you refuse, the result is going to be an arrest until we can identify or determine your identity. I believe got it right. Ignorance. Yes. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Where to learn? Well, when you get your driver's license, you need to learn the laws there. You can look up. So assuming you pass the test, you know at least those laws. The internet is a great source. This channel is a great source. But yeah, there's no excuse for not knowing what the basic rules of the road are. You were tested on them to get your license in the first place. Now, when you talk about criminality, most of these things are based in common sense. Like, you're not supposed to steal because, probably we're told that from the age of, being able to, before even being able to understand, a language. So yeah, there's really no excuse. Gun laws, question mark. Yes, we have gun laws. G2 rules for passenger. G2 rules for passengers. There's some stipulations between certain times, and I have a video all about it. So rather than getting into it right now, check out the video because it's a whole bunch of if what ifs and depends, and it's only for the first year after you're licensed. Let's see here. G-Man says good morning. Good morning, G-Man. Okay, we already covered this one.
What can I do about speeders on my street?
Well, if you live in the city of Toronto, you can go to www.torontopolice.on.ca/CORE. That'll bring you to the Citizen Online Reporting entry, and it'll allow you to make a complaint about a community issue. And the deal is that you can make that report. It is an actual police report, and an officer will be assigned to look into it further. So Glamorous Grandma is following up on the question about emergency. I work at palliative care one time, and a client fell. So if your client fell, and that's an emergency, call an ambulance. You should not be driving your client to the hospital, and it does not constitute an emergency. Because if it's an emergency, you call the emergency. Yeah, you should not be driving. You're not an emergency driver. You're not entitled to go there quickly or more quickly than that. You need to call an ambulance. If you really have a reason to get to the hospital quickly, 911 is the only answer. G2 expires due to COVID, question mark. Extension, question mark? Yes, exclamation mark. The answer is that your G2, if it expired from March 2020 onward, you are extended until December 31st, 2022. I was going to say 32, not the 32, 22. And the deal is that you should try and get a test ASAP. Okay. If you're watching on, thank you, Angela, for the reminder. I've got a crew of people who tell me when to sip liquids. Okay. Let's see here. Let me read while sipping. Oh, okay. We got a suggestion that if you're having an emergency at the side of the road and you're on a motorcycle, he's suggesting you put your helmet on the ground if you're having an emergency on a motorbike. Well, this is assuming you've pulled over, you've parked, and you're trying to signal people. Problem with that is that not everyone knows what that is. If you're a rider, you might understand it, but the average, driver or person out and about doesn't know that putting your helmet is a signal. And if you have a phone, dial 911, even if you have no ability to speak. Try and get the information, wave to someone if you can. Unfortunately, medical emergencies roadside are difficult. Obviously, if you're lying down, someone might figure out that that's a problem. And I'm not trying to be funny. It really is. It's difficult to communicate. If you only have a few moments to try and communicate, start with 911. If you have an Apple Watch, there's a button you can press, and it actually signals and tells everyone where you are. It'll even call people on a list. There's other apps for other platforms that do the same thing. And just in case you're new to the channel, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service, and I answer your traffic and police questions on TikTok most days. This week it was Tuesday to Friday. Next week it's going to be Monday to Thursday. Okay. Much appreciated. I was told to put my hazards on. This is a follow-up for that question about if you have an emergency. You can put your hazards on, but it doesn't tell anybody anything other than you have your hazards on. And if you're not moving, it suggests that you need help or that you're someone you shouldn't drive into. But driving with your hazards on doesn't denote or suggest that you have an emergency. Let's see here. This statement says, what's March 2021 onward? Frankie wants to know, what is March 2020 onward? Onward means since March 2020. So if your license expired, or your validation or your G1 or G2 expired March 2021 or after, and instead of onward, afterwards, it would mean that it expired and is still covered under the extension until, for a full license and for validation, it is until February 28th, 2022. If it is a learner's permit, a G1 or G2, it's good until December 31st, 2022. Okay. 905 wants to know, factory upgrade mods, not original car seat comment. I don't know where your comment is. Let's see here. Okay. Discord. Hey, if you want to join our conversations all the time, feel free to jump into our Discord. We have, yes. So if you want to join in our Discord, sorry, I just read a note from Q. This is why I stopped mid-sentence and looked over there. So the question, the statement is, if you want to join us on Discord, we have a server with 200 plus people who are chatting all the time because we're all friends, and you can be our friend too. So feel free to use the link on the screen and go there. You can't click it; you got to sort of screen grab it. So you can screen grab. Yeah, okay. Anyway, there we go. Moving on. HOV lanes crossing over 18-wheelers help. What do you mean? HOV lanes are HOV lanes, and you can only use them if you have you meet the requirements. But what do you mean crossing over 18-wheelers? Like they're cutting you off to get to the HOV? That's not cool. But I don't know what kind of help I can give you other than people shouldn't do that. And if they do make unsafe lane changes in and around 18-wheelers, you need to know that those vehicles take a lot longer to stop, and you may find yourself meeting one very, very close. And just a shout out to Highway Safety Gang. A long time no see, no time no talk. Hope all is well. Miss you. Why do cars in Ontario not have fire extinguishers? Some might. It's not a requirement to carry one. I've never stopped anybody and asked if they had one in there. Tow trucks have to have them. That's a requirement. Let's see here. Isn't the legal limit for tint 75% light through? 70% for the windows left and right of the driver. We say 30% light blockage, 70% light through, not 75. But I like 75. It's less than it's more light than 70. But factory can now go as dark as 30% blockage, and you can't have anything on the front windshield unless your vehicle is 2016 or older, and then you can have a brow. I was looking for Q and her brow. Oh, there's Q's brow. 3 inches or to the PS1 line, whatever happens first. And you can go as dark as you want on the vehicle's rear windows. The only rule is if your window in the back is too dark to let light through at all, then you must have at least one mirror to the rear, which would be one of your side mirrors. And it should be a suitable mirror that functions. I got a red light ticket. My brake light lit up made it right turn. Can I ask for video in court? Say this again. I'm going to read this again because I'm the one saying it. I got a red light ticket. My brake light lit up. Made right turn. Can I ask for video in court? It's not video. There's still photos. It determines, or it has a record of what speed you were going when you approached, and then it has you over the line when it was red. If you came to a complete stop prior to making your right turn, then not just having your lights lit up, but a complete stop, it would be reflected. It has a time and date measure, so it knows exactly what time it was when it went light, how many seconds into the intersection you were when it changed or before it changed. The thing is, you have to come to a complete stop before making the right turn on red. You can't just drive right on a red. Complete stop and can proceed when safe to do so. Hey, everyone who's watching, do me a favor. Hit that screen. Show that you like the channel. It helps bring more people into the room. 81 of you, we love having you, but we'd also love to have more friends join us. So if you hit the like, it'll help advertise the channel to others, bring more in. Neon's going to bed because he is working nights. Have a great weekend, Neon. Okay. Ford offers performance mods that are not stock. Is it illegal? Performance modifications aren't illegal by virtue of being aftermarket or performance. Each modification has to be legal, and it's possible that they'll sell you stuff that may not be legal. So you have to make sure and ask them the question. And it depends on what the performance. It's such a broad statement. Is it a performance mod like better brakes? Yeah, it's probably going to be legal. Is it a performance modification that involves removing your muffler? Not legal. Now, you can upgrade to a better muffler, a freer breathing one. That's possible. But it depends. I can't give you a clear thumbs up for anything without knowing details. Let's see here. Sign says 50 kilometers above speed limit, $10,000. What does it mean? 50 kilometers over the posted speed limit in a highway situation is stunt driving. Stunt driving has a maximum fine of $10,000 and up to 6 months in jail. That's what that means. Don't stunt drive. Don't exceed the speed limit by 50 on roads that have a speed limit over 80 kilometers an hour. And if you're in the city, don't exceed the speed limit by 40 kilometers an hour because the same thing happens. Now, in addition to that $10,000, there's also a 30-day suspension on your license as well as a 14-day impound of your vehicle. The truth is, don't speed at all. So if the speed limit is 50, do 50, do 49. Don't do 51. That's illegal. Don't speed. Don't break the law. All those things.
My turn.
Okay.
You
I'm going to
drink.
drink.
Yeah.
Yep, drinking.
Are bicyclists allowed to ride down the sidewalk going against traffic?
Cyclists, unless they're under the age of 14, aren't allowed to drive on the sidewalk at all. Now, did you mean sidewalk or did you mean on the side of the road?
Well, not drive walk this time, but yes, sidewalk.
Yeah.
Is what was in the question.
In the city of Toronto, and it is a bylaw controlled thing, cyclists are not permitted to be on the sidewalk at all, unless you're a child under the age of 14. Let's see here. What is the COVID rules on temp sticker right now? Validation stickers are not being enforced until February 28th of 2022, assuming that your sticker was expired anytime after March 2020. That's it. Yeah. Can people get a ticket for loud music because and I don't have anything after but yes, unnecessary noise can be by way of exhaust, horn, or loud music playing from your vehicle. It's a Highway Traffic Act offense, and it's real. Police have right to charge stunt driving on private property. Yes. As of September 12th, the Highway Traffic Act extends for the purpose of stunt driving specifically onto private property. So if you're in a mall parking lot, the farmer's field, your own field, technically speaking, you're eligible for a ticket. We're not camping out on your lawn looking for somebody in the backyard. But if complaints come in and police investigate and it is deemed necessary, charges can be laid, vehicles can be seized or I should say impounded, and licenses can be suspended. Okay, I have my G2 test today. Any advice? Good luck. You got this. You've been practicing for at least a year, and or at least 8 months if you got driver training in a year, most likely. So good luck. You got this. Stay calm. Think about what you're doing. Voice out if you want to make sure that you test yourself. So you're okay. I'm looking. I'm checking my mirrors. Maybe they want to hear it. Maybe they don't. Don't be obnoxious about it. But yeah, you got this. Let's see here. If I get cut off and brake checked, am I at fault? Depends. Getting cut off suggests an aggressive maneuver, an unsafe lane change, and generally speaking, the cut off and immediately brake checked suggests a direct and intentional act. In that particular situation, I would suggest that there is criminality or at very least careless driving and possibly stunt or criminality at fault or in play. At that point, you probably wouldn't. The problem is that you need to be able to prove that, and just saying that they cut me off isn't an excuse. A video will help. So I would suggest, and I think everyone should have a dash camera. I have one. I wouldn't want to drive without one. That's just me. And know that it's hard to make a case otherwise. And oddly enough, we did a video about that like yesterday, which is probably where you asked the question. Just saying. Let's see here. Okay. Covering a lot of duplicates here. Bunch of duplicates. Removing questions. Do I lose my points after the court or pay it? Yes. If points are attached to a fine or a charge, once you either are found guilty, plead guilty, or pay it, which is equivalent of pleading guilty, the ministry would add that to your license. You would get those points. You don't lose them, you gain them. It's not something you want to win. But yes. Thoughts about speed bumps they made in Wasaga? I know nothing about speed bumps in Wasaga. Unfortunately, I can't really comment because I'm guessing they added some, but I don't know anything about those. I'll have to read up on it. Maybe on Monday we can talk about it again because I don't know what you're talking about. Does a car need an airbag in the steering wheel? Yes. If it was manufactured with one, it must have one. So you can't remove it to put on a aftermarket or removable steering wheel. That would be illegal. The only time you can take an airbag out is with proper approval from the Ministry of Transportation, and that is for the purposes of taking children. If you were going to put a child in the front seat that is under the age of 14 and you want to make special application to be able to do that, it's like $2,000 to do it. Transporting, what did I say? Taking. Yes. Q doesn't like the word taking. You're not taking children. You're transporting your own children or children with permission. Taking is kidnapping and bad. And I'm serious. Don't take children. Why do you take me down that road? It's all her fault. Reckless driving for U-turn to avoid. She's laughing and turned the camera off. A red light. Reckless driving is an American term. We don't have a charge for reckless. We have a charge for careless. Making a U-turn for a red light, if it was done safely and it's not signed otherwise, would be legal. Again, U-turns are legal as long as you are doing them in safety and there's no sign preventing you, or you're not in a location that's flat out not permitted. Why are speed limits higher on average in Brampton? I don't. Oh, well, City of Toronto and Vision Zero are reducing speed limits everywhere because it's safer and it increases or reduces the chance of serious injury and death, increases the chance of survival in the event that a pedestrian is struck. So that's why City of Toronto has slower speed limits. I don't know what the speed limits are in Brampton. Is it illegal to hang stuff on your rear view mirror? Depends. If it's obstructing your view, then yes. And are Windsor bylaws different from Toronto? Every city has its own bylaws. I imagine they're all very different. I don't know what their bylaws are, so I can't really comment. But you need to check on your own bylaws. Bylaws are city specific. Where's Vision Zero today? What a good question. Let's see. Because I know what I only look it up before the 10:15 show. So it's good you asked. It's good you asked. Where are they today? They are in 31 and 43 Division. 31 and 43 Division. And what is Vision Zero, you ask? Well, at least the enforcement team. They are a dedicated group of officers who go out and focus on specific driving behaviors that lead to serious injury and death on our roads. And those driving behaviors are speeding, aggressive driving, distracted driving, and impaired driving. Okay. Is using a Lamborghini in Corsa mode really illegal? I don't know what Corsa mode does. If it switches a bypass to be straight pipe and bypassing your mufflers, then yes, it would be illegal. I don't know what else Corsa mode does, so I can't Corsa mode provides faster throttle response, quicker shifting, and deactivates automatic upshifting at red line. I don't think that would actually Yeah, I don't think it would be illegal unless it does something to the muffler. Sport mode is not an illegal mode, so I don't know where you got that information, but it doesn't. And I wouldn't know if it's sport mode. Now, if some cars have a track mode and there's a bypass from the muffler system, that would be illegal. Let's see here. Where can you park with an accessible permit? Oh, I'm being told that thrust mode could be illegal on a Lamborghini, but I don't. Oh, and that's launch control. Okay, I've learned something. That might be a track-only mode. So where can you park with an accessible permit? You can park anywhere other than no stopping and no what's it called? No stopping, no standing. Those places you can't park, but you can park in a no stopping zone. You can't park in a fire zone, but pretty much anywhere else. Obviously, you can't obstruct driveways and things like that. But so if it's a no parking zone, you can park there with an accessible permit. Who can we contact regarding intersection light suggestions? You could talk to the City of Toronto. Try 311 as a starting point. If you're in the City of Toronto, if you're anywhere else, you'd need to talk to your local government. Who sets speed limits? The cities do. Cities set speed limits, not a police function. We enforce the laws when they're broken, but there are committees that meet and determine what the speed limits should be. And Vision Zero has a part to play in that. They've been doing studies to determine what's safe. So that's why we're reducing the number of, or the speed limits. A follow-up about the Corsa mode. So Corsa mode makes it louder. How does it make it louder? I wonder how that functions. But I wonder if that's a bypass, because then it would be illegal if it's somehow a bypass. It redlines it? Yeah, that's a behavior thing. So this is a discussion we're having a sideline here with Q. If your vehicle is redlining, your vehicle may be loud or not loud. You could have a stock Honda Civic. If you're redlining it, it's going to be loud, and you could be eligible for not only the speeding ticket that you're probably getting for, well, maybe you're doing, first gear at 20K, I don't know. If you're being loud unnecessarily, then you're probably going to get a ticket for unnecessary noise. A Lamborghini doing 40K is likely not going to get a ticket for unnecessary noise, but would if they were redlining. So, of course, there are red lines at every intersection or every speed. That's a problem. But not because of the mode, it's because of the driving behavior. Let's see here. Thanks, Canadian 8. Actually, we covered it already. You were out of the room. But it's what are the laws on tint? So nothing on the front windshield unless your vehicle is pre-2017, at which point you can have a 3-inch brow or up to the PS1 line. Otherwise, nothing if it's newer. And the deal with the windows left and right of the driver, a maximum of 30% light blockage. But at the end of the day, the charge, and no reflective, by the way, no reflective tint. But at the end of the day, the rule is that you can't obstruct the interior of the vehicle with a color coding material or reflective tint. You can't make it so we can't see in. So if your idea is privacy, that is the problem. You can't be so private that you can't let anyone see. And it's for public safety. And part of it is so you can see out and that you can actually see a pedestrian and not hit them. But the other side is because we have to be able to see in. What's the weirdest law in Toronto that you know? A Toronto-specific law? There's something on the books, something about herding sheep on Sundays. I'd have to look it up. I haven't looked in a long time. How do you memorize all these million laws? I forget them, and I read them again and remind myself the details. There's so many. I look a lot of them up on a regular basis to remind myself because they're so different and they're so similar at the same time. Like a lot of them, the price of many of them are $110. But is it 150 meters or is it 30 meters or is it? I got to look it up on a regular basis. I mix up some of the fines. Listen, when I lay the charge, fortunately now we're it's all computerized. It's automatic. But knowing the understanding what makes the charge, what makes someone guilty of the offense, that I remember. But the details about who gets what and how many things, that's something I look up, and I'm not afraid to say it. You can't remember everything all the time. But the stuff that you write on all the time, it's always right up there, ready to go. Can't drag a horse up young on Sundays. For real? Wow. Okay. Question was, can I drive with a photocopy of my license? We talked about it earlier. You cannot. Let's see here. If I got a ticket with the wrong date on it, what should I do? Well, you can certainly take it to court and dispute it. Is it a fatal flaw? Possibly. If it's a computer-generated ticket, it shouldn't have the wrong date. And if the evidence that's written on it has the correct date, they may be able to amend it. It may not be a fatal flaw. But you certainly have something to talk about. You can challenge it if you choose to. Okay. School bus stop at four-way does all. What are you asking me? I don't know what you're asking me. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking me. You're saying if a school bus stops at a stoplight or at a stop intersection, a four-way stop, and puts its stop signal out, does traffic in all directions have to stop? I'm going to say no, because they can't direct people going the opposing direction, oncoming, so the same direction and opposing of where the school bus stopped and extended its stop arm, but the other traffic I don't believe will be affected in any way. And now I got to look that up because that's a really weird situation. I don't know why a stop sign, a school bus would be stopping at an intersection. It seems inappropriate.
Drop off for kids in a neighborhood?
Yeah, but not at a stop sign. It should be before a stop sign, after a stop sign, but not at an intersection. That seems very odd. But I don't know if there's rules against it or not. And that's one of those things I'm now going to have to look up. Thanks for the homework. I really appreciate it. Do you have to stop for a school bus? Yes. In fact, there are fines if you choose not to stop for a school bus. And it's quite serious. And now I want to look up how much it is. Because, we're trying to protect vulnerable road users. Kids are vulnerable road users. Let's see here, school bus. Failed to stop at railway crossing. No, here we go. School buses. Failed to stop. No. Hang on a second here. Come on. Where is it? It's got to be big money. Come on. Where is it? There's so many here. Really? Stop school bus. Here we go. $400. $490 with victim fine surcharge and 6 demerit points. Yeah, that's a big one. That's up on, same as careless driving. That's serious. $490. I'm going to remember that for at least 10 minutes until I have to read it again. Okay. Would you arrest someone for not wearing a mask in Timmy's? I think it's just a fine for not wearing your mask and being asked to leave. But would I arrest somebody? It depends on their behavior. Maybe if they were threatening people, yeah, I'd arrest someone for that. I work in healthcare. Why do I see cops with patty? I don't know what a patty is. I'm assuming there's more stuff. I don't know what you're asking me. Okay. Moving along. I received a citation for not providing the insurance. You probably mean citation. Because, yes, you're legally obligated under the Highway Traffic Act to surrender proof of insurance upon demand. And you can show an electronic copy that's provided by insurance, not a picture of your card, but a proper digital version, similar to that, I assume, of what is being produced for the vaccination proof. Some kind of electronic, either through an app or something. Okay. Let's see here. I got a yes, and then I got a 2 from the same person. I don't know what you're talking about. And then you got another 2. What are you trying to tell me? It's like Morse code. My license expires in May 2022. Do I have until December? Yes. Yes, you do. You're extended until December 31st, 2022. If I pass a red light to pass a cop or a fire engine. If I pass a red light to pass a cop, I don't know what you mean. If you run a red light to pass, you're gonna have to rephrase that because I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Let's see here. When do you lose the points? After the court? Yeah, you lose points, or you're awarded points, even though you don't want to win them. Points are applied after conviction is registered. And conviction would be when you choose to pay it, which is effectively pleading guilty, when you go to court and take a plea bargain and plead guilty, or when you're found guilty as a result of a trial. Ashton Stein says, thank you for everything you do for Toronto. He's a moderator. He's saying thank you. You're a moderator. You're part of the club. You don't have to say that. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Gun laws in Ontario. Lock safe needed for everything. It depends. If you're a firearms owner, you should know about gun safety and gun storage. But essentially, guns you either need to be in a safe, or you need to be in a locked cabinet or room designed specifically for the storage of firearms. There's a whole bunch of things, and there's different options and different requirements based on where you're storing it. But yeah, there's lots of case law also discussing the ins and outs of this. So it's more complicated. You should take a course if you're planning on being a firearms owner. Gun laws are not Ontario specific, though. They are federal gun laws, so it's for the entire country. Okay. Although there could be there's local gun bans and things that they've been trying to move into. So I don't know. And in terms of transport, no, it's all federal. Okay. There was a USA cop on live that said it's legal to lie. Under certain circumstances, you don't. Yeah, it depends on what we're talking about. But yeah, if I'm an undercover officer, I don't have to tell you I'm a police officer, even if you ask me, if that's what you mean. So if you say, "Are you a cop?" and I say no, yeah, I can do that. I can lie to you and say I'm not a cop. Hard to do that when I'm in uniform sitting in a police station talking to you on TikTok. I obviously wouldn't lie to you but, about that. But if I'm undercover and I'm trying to bust you because you're a drug dealer and you say, I know that you have to tell me the truth because I saw it on TV, yeah, that's not true. You're allowed to lie. What's the best part of the job? So much of it is awesome. One of the things I really enjoy is this, being able to communicate with everybody on TikTok. Do I have a favorite cop movie, non-TV? Oh, so many. Yeah, I don't have a favorite. I love the Police Academy movies. I mean, I grew up watching them. I love them. Haven't watched them in a long time. I got to watch them with my kids. Maybe they're not appropriate for my kids. They're too young. But there's the Lethal Weapon stuff was awesome. I can't think of what's my favorite cop movie. There's so many. TV shows, though. I got more TV shows I can talk about. TV show, obviously, Chips. It's one of the reasons I'm a police officer. Insurance address different from your registration address. Is it illegal? It's an insurance situation. That's up to you and your insurance company. Now, I will say that if you've got an address that's somewhere else to reduce your insurance cost, that's fraud. But is it something that the police are going to charge you for? It's going to be an insurance problem. A lot of people have insurance. It has to be a reason for it. It's do you have a mailing address? It's not for manipulating your thing. Is it a question that we deal with when we pull you over? Generally not. Are you sometimes scared of other cops? Why? Like if they'd fall over and hurt themselves? What would I be scared of? I don't know. I don't know what I'd be scared of. But no, I'm not generally scared of people. Can you advance on red to allow emergency vehicles? Depends. If an emergency vehicle is stuck behind you at an intersection and they're giving you the air horns and telling you to move, they're giving you a specific direction and you can move based on that direction. You can't drive through an intersection, but you can hug the side, move out of the way as much as necessary as they let that officer out. But generally speaking, if we're going to an event, we are going to go into opposing traffic. We're going to take the path of least resistance. We're never going to show up behind a pack of 10 cars and go, can you please get out of my way? That's just not what we do. Do you like BMWs with burble tunes? Well, burble tunes are ridiculous, so no. And in fact, they may even be, if they're tuned beyond what's stock, maybe in violation of the Environmental Protection Act, and it might result in a ticket. So I would say, no, I don't like them. I think they're ridiculous. But do I care? If they're the basic one pop, no. If it's constantly crackling and it sounds like Rice Krispies, yeah, I got a problem with that. It's unnecessary noise. It's environmental protection. It's time to drink a glass of water.
I was actually trying to tell you that it sounded like your water bottle crackling. I hear myself. Sorry.
Got it. Now I understand what you're saying. How long after you smoke to drive? It's different for everybody. And you're saying smoke marijuana, and it's going to be different for everyone. So I would say just long time. I can't give you time. Everyone deals with it separately or differently. I don't think you should drive if you have it in your system at all. Is it free? Sorry, is it true that cops get free Timmies and donuts? It's not a policy. Have I ever received a free coffee? Yeah. What did I do? I put money in the donation bin or insisted on paying, and they didn't take my money, so I bought somebody else a coffee. I make enough money I can buy my own coffees. Now I order it on the app, so I don't have to deal with someone trying to buy me anything. Makes life a lot easier. By rules, we're not supposed to accept anything, and which makes it very uncomfortable when people try and give us stuff. Why do I see cops with patients in the hospital? So when patients come in as a result of a motor vehicle collision, we will go in and take statements, or if they've been seriously injured, we'll track them. If they're impaired, we will be doing various things like potentially doing a blood trail where if they're unable to provide a breath sample and impaired driving is believed to be part of it, we will follow them, wait with to get blood so that we can ensure that there's a chain of evidence and document it all. So we can go in then and make sure it's sealed and go through the appropriate things in court so that we can get that tested. Now, there's other reasons. It could be someone under arrest, at which point they're in custody and being treated, so we have to stay with them as well. Prison guards, sometimes we're paid duties. Sometimes we're paid to guard a prisoner while they're getting medical attention when they're being taken from jail to a hospital and need to, not escape. So sometimes we're working off duty, what's called a paid duty, on behalf of the prison system. Okay, let's see here. Are you allowed to drive without a passenger seat? Yeah, I don't think you have to have a passenger seat, assuming you're licensed and don't require someone sitting in there to supervise you. I don't think passenger seats are required. You could have a one-seat car. I'd confirm with your mechanic, but I'm not aware of anything that says you can't have a passenger seat unless you were planning to take passengers. Will's taken off. He says, have a good weekend. And let's see here. Are e-bikes allowed to block traffic? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Like driving slowly in a lane and causing people to pass? E-bikes are bicycles as long as they conform to the rules of e-bikes, at which point they have to stay to the right of the lane, and drivers have to give them a meter space, just like any other bicycle. Do you get called for other things other than traffic? So as a traffic officer, 90% of the time or 99% of the time you are going to be dealing with traffic stuff. So I probably won't get sent to a murder scene because I'm a traffic guy. But that's not to say if there's a shortage of people, we're still police officers. We can do any one of those things. And if they say go to a scene, we're going to the scene. If something happens, we're going to go back somebody up. Same thing. So I've been riding my motorcycle, police motorcycle, when I was a member of the motor squad, and we got flagged down by the public, guy with a knife. We went to a knife call because that's what we do. Advice for a police foundations graduate. Don't get into trouble. Stay fit. Continue to educate and develop yourself, whether it be learning a language, doing something. Volunteer. Stay committed to your community. What else can I tell you? Don't give up. Will wants to know if there's a live on Monday. Yes, there is a live on Monday, but next Friday probably not, because I now work a 4-day week. But if I'm really full of energy, and I might do one from home on Friday because I'm like that. Questions about ATVs. I don't really have answers for ATVs. Sergeant Campbell, who's off doing other things, has lots of answers about ATVs, and I think I talked about making a video with him yesterday, and I really should, so we'll probably do that soon. Let's see here. Loading says, Burble's tunes are the best, bro. You can hear my burble. I'll take your word for it. I think most of them sound silly, but occasionally a pop is not against the worst thing. Let's see here. Is there a roadside test for cannabis? Yes, there is. There's also things called, what's it called? We have two things. We have, and here's my word of the day. What the heck is my word of the day? So there's roadside testing, and there's field sobriety testing. That's what I was looking for. So we have officers trained in field sobriety testing, and then if you fail, regardless of the buccal swab test, you can fail a sobriety test and be taken to be further tested by a drug recognition experts. So there's various ways to charge you for impaired by drug. Have I ever pulled someone over for burbles? I have not. Any way to report drivers on their phones? Absolutely. You can go to www.torontopolice.on.ca/core. Don't do it while you're driving, obviously, because then you're no better than they are. But if you can remember, leave yourself a voicemail. Leave yourself a voice note on your phone with your license plate and time and date of when it happened. And you can certainly go to the website at a later date and make that report. That report will become an official report. It will be assigned to a police officer for follow-up. Will they get a ticket? Probably not, but they will likely get a letter saying at this time and date, at this location, you were observed utilizing your phone. It's really great when mom and dad own the car and not the driver, because then someone's going to have a talking to. And listen, it's been a blast hanging out with you guys today. I'm looking at a button that says, what is this? There's a new thing that says weekly ranking. What is this? I've never seen this before. Anyway, if you haven't already followed us, please do. We'd love to see you again. If you follow us and you're a regular, thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. If you would like to join us on our Discord server, link is right there. And you can talk to us all day long because we have people chitting, yeah, stuff. And Ashton says, bye TikTok, because it's the end of the show. And what else? Have a wonderful day, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday when we'll be back to do this again. And, yeah. What is this? Oh, hey, you know what? There's still more to come. At 10:15, we're going to have a rail safety discussion. We've got a gentleman from Rail Safety with Metrolinx Go. He's coming to talk on our show at 10:15. That's not that far away. It's like 15 minutes. So if you'd like to join us, come find us on Twitter at Traffic Services. You can get us on Facebook, Traffic Services. You can get us on YouTube, Traffic Services Toronto Police. You can even get us at Twitch. We're all over the place. So come join us, and we'll be doing about a half an hour live with him real soon. Talk to you soon.
Bye, TikTok.
Bye. Okay, we are here, and now I can actually, let's see here. Can you do a citizen's arrest? Who are we talking about? Angela Toppin saying goodbye. Thank you to all the mods. Thanks, Angela. Thank you for being so kind and shouting out to everybody. We're just going on, just seeing if there's anything we got to see here. No, I think we're good. Some hiccups with technology. We had some sound issues, so we got to try and resolve for this. I think it's just wire. I think it's just done. I'm going to put a new wire in. You think it's just TikTok audio?
It's coming out of here from my TikTok, and then the rest of it that I have playing coming out of here is fine.
Well, that's because this is a thing. We're still live. I'm going to sign off on here and get ready for the next stream. But thanks everyone on YouTube and every other platform who's been hanging out. Appreciate you, really do. And come back and see you soon. Come back and see us in about 15 minutes. And I didn't know you could do this. I can actually hover over and see where everybody is. So the majority of you are coming in through Traffic Services, Toronto Police on YouTube. I can see that we got some people on my personal Facebook, some people on the Traffic Services Facebook, and of course somebody's on VoiceOver Cop on Twitch. So hello and goodbye. We're going to take off and we'll be back